My name is Nolan Michaels. I've made over 68,000 images in Midjourney, and I've learned how to create some pretty amazing photo shoots with a consistent character. This video is going to go over the actual Midjourney workflow for creating the illusion of photo shoots, not the best photo shoot prompts, camera angles, or poses. I hope I don't disappoint you. And let's make it clear what I think qualifies as a photo shoot. I think a similar setting with slight variations, like posing a few times in different ways, is a photo shoot. I think the same person in different outfits is a photo shoot. I think the same setting with different people is a photo shoot. I think different people in the same theme or event is a photo shoot. I think the same person in a consistent style is a photo shoot. And I think the same person in a bunch of different art styles is also a photo shoot. We'll go over all 6 in this video. You can check the timestamps below. And one last word of warning, the results are not going to be perfect, but since the results will improve in the future, I think these workflows are worth learning now. Let's start with creating a character. We need a foundation, someone to use in our photo shoots. My first tip, I think a wide aspect ratio is good for the foundation, so we can see as much of the face as possible. You want to use a simple word like portrait, but Midjourney might create a painting, so you could try something like Style Raw. That will tell Midjourney to lean towards the more realistic approach. You could even use a word like Unsplash in your prompt, or maybe Studio Headshot. Anything to signify that we want a very clear picture of a subject. Feel free to include some details, but not too much detail. Definitely don't focus on clothing right now, unless your outfit is extremely simple, like a black t-shirt. Nothing more than that, it's not gonna work. I don't recommend mentioning their hair. It's not going to transfer very well in future generations. And out of all the details that you could add, I'd say maybe mention their eyes. An eye color isn't the worst thing in the world. Midjourney does okay with that. Like here, I have a studio headshot of a woman with cerulean colored eyes. I used Chaos 3 to get a bit of variety, and I like these a lot. I went with number 1 actually. For the sake of this video, let's call her Anna, and we're going to be using her as the subject for some of our photo shoots. Now that you've created your foundational subject, let's move on to the first photo shoot that you can try. The first type of photo shoot is going to be very simple. We are going to character reference our model and choose a style. Let me show you. We can simply drag our character into the prompt box. We have to hover over the picture and make sure we click on character reference. It'll be this icon on the left side. Now when we write our prompt, Midjourney is going to look at this picture as a character reference. So I went with something like Polaroid of a woman, adventure core style, and then I like to use the word Unsplash. Unsplash is just a stock photography website that has a specific look, and when you use it in a Midjourney prompt, the bot knows that you want something a little more cinematic. But there are 2 more important things that you need to include in your prompt: a low chaos value and a low character weight. You can do this by typing --C in your prompt, and then I recommend something like 3 or 4 for the value. Next, we want to add --CW, character weight, and then a value of 0. A small chaos value is going to give us some variety. It will give us a better chance of finding something we like. And the low character weight is so that Midjourney just focuses on the face. We want it to focus on the face because it isn't very good at getting the other details right. And an extra hot tip for you, use a 1:1 aspect ratio, a square ratio. We can change the size of the frame later, we just want some simple photographs to start. You can do this by typing --AR, aspect ratio, 1:1 in your prompt, 1:1, or you can click on this little filter icon beside the prompt box, and you can adjust the ratio here, or simply hit square. And when we hit enter, we'll see something like these. Those are pretty cool, right? But to really simulate the idea of a photo shoot, all we need to do is use the variation buttons, specifically variation strong. And we can do that quite simply by just hovering over the photos and hitting V strong. That will lead us to results like these. Now, I know those are super similar, but that's kind of the point. We just wanted one character in one specific scene with a bit of a different pose each time. And after you do that a few times, you could end up with a collage like this. Isn't that a cool photo shoot? It's very simple, it's very subtle, but I think it's extremely effective. Now, I know we started in the square aspect ratio, but if you wanted some more variety, here's what you can do. You can simply click on one of the pictures that you like, go down into creation actions and more options, and make sure that more options is selected. From here, I want you to click on Editor. Now, I have to warn you that the layout of some of those buttons might change in the future, but I think you get the idea. We want to get to the Midjourney editor. This is where we can change the shape of the frame. And what I suggest you do is go up here to the top and selecting one of the pre-made aspect ratios, like 1:2. That will turn your frame into a vertical ratio, and then all you need to do is click the middle of your image and drag it to where you want it to sit in the frame. And then when you hit enter, you'll see some results like this. Those are great, and you can select whichever one you want for your photo shoot. You could take another square generation and turn it into a wider aspect ratio. Isn't that awesome? That's how I was able to create collages like this. You could even mix and match variations from different images. I think this is a lot of fun and pretty easy to do. Okay, that first one was kind of basic, but this second type of photo shoot is a little more fun. This is where we get to see our same character in many different outfits, but all under the same theme. And to do this, we're going to use a similar strategy as before, but with one key difference. We can drag our subject into the prompt box, make sure that character reference is selected. For this example, I chose Portrait of a Woman, Glam Rock Rockstar Style, Unsplash. Again, an aspect ratio of 1:1, chaos 3, and character weight 0. That will give us some results like these. There's 1, 2, 3, or 4. You're going to choose one that you like, and then here's the key difference for this photo shoot. You're going to go down into Creation Actions, More Options, and we want to find the Remix feature. Once you've clicked on it, you'll see Remix Subtle and Strong. We do not want Subtle. Click on Remix Strong. This will bring up your prompt at the top, and you have the chance to change some of it around. The only thing we're going to change is the chaos value. We're going to change it from 3 to something way higher. I'm talking like 25, 35, 40, even 50. Because when we hit enter, take a look at these. Aren't those so awesome? Don't you see all the possibilities for a photo shoot coming through right here? Before we move on, I have a good example here of why Unsplash and character weight matter so much. First, let's start with character weight. If you don't lower the character weight on your own, Midjourney will use the default value, 100. And when it uses 100, it will take in everything it knows about your character, including their hair, accessories, and clothing. That is probably not what you want in a photo shoot. Because look at these. Portrait of a Woman, Rockstar Style, Unsplash. I did not mention character weight, so it's at 100. And we get our character with her nice little sweater. I mean, sure, they're nice pictures, but that's not a rockstar style. It's because it's focusing too much on everything it knows about our character. That's why we want to lower the character weight so it just takes their face. And the reason Unsplash is so important is because we want to signify a real world setting. At least I do. Without using Unsplash for Portrait of a Woman, Glam Rock, Rockstar Style, we would get these illustrations, if you will. Now, they're kind of cool, but they're not realistic, and that's what I was going for. That's why an artistic reference is so important. You could say a Vogue photo shoot, you could say stock photography. I like to use Unsplash, anything that will get the bot to know that we're focused on realistic people. And again, to create some cool collages of your photo shoot, you can expand the canvas on some of these pictures. So you'll click on the one you like, go down into editor, and then simply choose one of the options. Let's go 16:9, and we could end up with something like this. Look at the completed collage I made, look how fun this is, look how well it works. I even ran this process for the style I used earlier, Adventure Core, and it created these. Like, those are quite varied, that's what remixing with a high chaos value is going to do, but this is your character over many different scenes, all under the same theme. And I think that's pretty powerful. I hope you have some fun with this. And when you're remixing, you can even change up the prompt a little bit, not just the parameters. So we could say a portrait of a woman performing on stage. And that might give us a look like this, which we can then turn into this with the editor. Isn't that awesome? I have another hot tip for you, and this is for when you're changing the frame with the editor. What I suggest you do is reduce the size of the eraser and then selecting a very small part of the frame next to the part you want to generate. This will help your original picture flow more smoothly into the next generation. And I have to give you another warning, some of the results you're going to get might be less than impressive. I mean, you'll find some good ones, like here in the middle, but some of these are just awful. They're not good at all. All I can say is don't focus on the negatives, don't focus on the ones that suck. Try to enjoy the diamonds in the rough, try to enjoy any winnings you get from the Midjourney slot machine. And just to let you know, I redesigned my Midjourney cheat sheet with some of the main features on it. There's a free PDF for you to download in the description below. So let's move on to the third type of photo shoot. This is the same setting with different people. And now might be a good time to tell you that generating a scene with multiple characters does not work right now in Midjourney. There is a small asterisk to that statement, as I'll go over in this section. Put simply, the workflow for this photo shoot starts with creating our picture and then using the editor to inpaint over our original model. Let me show you what that will look like. So here we have a photo shoot of a woman in the redwoods, Unsplash. We have our character Anna selected as a character reference. We have chaos 3 and a character weight of 0. We're going to click on one that we like, go down into the editor, go up to make sure the eraser is on, and then we should probably increase the size of the eraser, and all we're going to do is erase our character. Pretty simple, right? But we're not quite done. We need to make sure we delete the character reference and the character weight from our prompt. Inside of the editor, you can erase it very easily. Now when we hit submit, Midjourney is going to create 4 random characters in this position. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think these are that great, but that's the type of workflow you're going to use. In fact, we can change the prompt even more and add a specific character that we want to see. If you go back into the original, then the editor, we can change the prompt to include whatever we want. We could even say Shrek should be in this picture. And would you look at that? I'd say that turned out pretty well. You can also include other specific characters, maybe other subjects that you've created, but you will have to have copied the image address first. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you have another subject or model that you've been using. You'll want to open up the picture on Discord or the Midjourney website. We're going to right click and hit copy image address. I think you could also use copy image, but let's stick with address. Now, when you go to edit the prompts, we're going to erase the original and then hit Command V or Control V on your keyboard, and that will paste in that other character. We're going to make sure that character reference is selected, and then when we hit enter, we'll get something like these. And honestly, they're not very good. I don't really think that looks like the character we chose. So what you can do from here is hit a variation button on one of these pictures, and we could end up with something like these. Now I think those are a lot better, a lot closer to what we were going for. I mentioned that multiple characters don't work in a scene, and let me show you why. A photo shoot of 2 women on a pirate ship, Unsplash. I use both of our characters as a character reference, and it sort of just blends them together. It's really not one or the other. You don't get 2 separate characters. You'll get 2 characters with the same face. It's kind of awkward. It really doesn't work. However, you can go into one of these pictures that you like, go into the editor, select the face, and choose one specific character that you want to see. We'll click on this one, go down into editor. Let's select her face, and then simply click off of the one that we don't want to see. So we'll just get our second character here. We'll hit submit and we'll have results like this, where one of our subjects is the character that we were looking for. And then we'll just repeat that process for the other character. But you have to do that copy image address trick. I know this one's not that practical, it's a little annoying, but this is how you would go about it. So we find Anna, right click, copy image address, choose one of the pictures, editor. We're going to erase the other character and remove them from the prompts. Then hit Command V or Control V, bring in our new character that we want, Anna. Make sure character reference is selected, and then hit submit. Again, I don't think it did a very good job. I don't think Midjourney is very good at this right now, but this is how you would go about getting multiple characters in one scene together. Best of luck to you. And if you're not happy with any of the results so far, you can use an external face swap tool. There are a couple I can suggest. One is free if you can figure out how to make it work on your computer, and the other is a paid option. I don't use them often, but I'll leave links to them in the description below. There is one more specific tip that you can use InPainting for. Here, I want you to generate a random scene with a random character, no character reference, like a cinematic still of a female crime scene investigator. You can choose any environment that you like, but we're going to click on one of them, inpaint their face, and then insert the character that we want, which will look something like this. And we want to make sure we lower the character weight. Add --CW0 at the end of the prompt. You can hit submit, and we'll end up with something like these, and those are alright, but we're not done. The real trick here is to use a variation button. Hover over one of the images and click on very strong. Not subtle, strong. And we'll get results like this. Look how amazing those are, and look how different they are from the original. The variation button basically takes everything that we asked for and it combines it into a new image. So we started with a random subject, we put our character's face on it, we use variation, and then we get our character in the scene. This is amazing, and I bet you'll have a lot of fun with it. The fourth type of photo shoot is a lot of fun. This is when we can have different people in the same theme or event. Take a look at these collages, and then I'll teach you how to create them yourself. We can achieve this effect with one specific word: cosplay. Go with a prompt like this: candid photo of a woman or man cosplaying as your theme, your environment, whatever you want to see throughout your photo shoot. Make sure you include a small chaos value like 3 or 4 and a low character weight. You could even try style raw. When you have your prompt set up, you'll get results like these. And aren't these amazing? Down here I use stylized 300, but up here I remove that, and I think the results are a little more realistic. Here we use the character Anna, but up here I used a different character for the prompt. You can use a new face, a new character every time to get that similar theme throughout the photo shoot. Isn't this awesome? You could also use some tricks that we learned earlier, like changing the frame into different aspect ratios, or using the remix feature to bump up the chaos value. That's pretty cool, and that's amazing. I even tried this prompt, a candid photo of a woman cosplaying as the Witcher. Look how good these are, look how much fun this theme is. I can't wait to see which ones you come up with on your own. Now I want to show you one really specific part of this workflow. You created a cosplay of the Witcher and this looks great, but I want you to try a regular variation, a regular strong variation. And I'm saying this for one specific reason. First, go down into Creation Actions, More Options, make sure Vary is selected, and then you can click Very Strong. Now, nothing too special about these, right? But the trick isn't over. I want you to hit Very Strong again. Take a look at these. Hitting Very Strong a second time resulted in pictures like this, and I don't know why that happened. Now our character has that white hair that's reminiscent of a Witcher. Again, I don't know why variations twice made this big of a difference, but keep that in mind. Use Very Strong once, and then try Very Strong again. I don't think this is very scientific, but I had to point this out. This is how I got these pictures. It's a little weird, but maybe you should try it yourself. Again, when you put everything together, you can get collages like this. Have fun. The fifth type of photo shoot you might want to try is the same person in a consistent style, and you can achieve that by using your personal style code. I have to warn you that your mileage may vary, but you can develop your own style through ranking images on the Midjourney website. You can find it under Tasks on the left side, and then here, Rank Images. You'll be shown 2 images, and all you need to do is select which one you like better. You can skip images at the top, but I don't know if I recommend that. Honestly, I suggest just focusing on which one you like more. It doesn't mean you have to love either image, just which one do you prefer. Over time, Midjourney will learn what you like best, and you need around 200 rankings for the bot to understand your preferences. You can trigger your personal style with --P at the end of your prompt, and you might want to do this to make sure that your photo shoots are uniquely yours. I warned you earlier because maybe your style doesn't really work the way you think it will. It doesn't look the way you want it to. And I understand that might be frustrating. But just so you know, you could always use somebody else's style code. I think there is a style showcase channel on Discord, but I don't really know the etiquette of using someone else's code, so you're on your own for that one. So we'll add our character to the prompt and make sure character reference is selected. Then we're going to write our simple prompt and select a style. I'm going to go with candid photo of a woman, maximalism style. I'll make sure the aspect ratio is 1:1. I'll lower the character weight and I'll add a little bit of chaos. But I'm also going to add --P to the end of the prompt. And I'll end up with something like these 4 here on the bottom. This is what Midjourney has learned about me. That's the style that it thinks I like. But there's one key thing that you can add to your prompt, and that is the stylized value. The stylized value, --S, is going to control the influence of your personal style. You can raise it all the way up to 1000, or you could lower it to 0. The default is 100. So if you look at the next 4 here, that is when I bumped up the stylized to 1000. That's the maximum influence that my personal preference can have on a generation. And you can see the big contrast, right? There is a huge difference between stylized 100, the default, and stylized 1000. when you're using your personal code. In fact, there's going to be a pretty big difference when you include something like Unsplash in your prompt as well. There are a lot of different looks that you can get here. Now, I know I told you to just create in a 1x1 square frame and then adjust the ratio later, but that was to keep it simple for any new users trying to learn more about Midjourney. If you're still watching this, then I have different advice for you. Generating in different ratios can actually result in some of the coolest looking pictures. Let me show you. So I'm going to go up to this prompt, candid photo of a woman, maximalism style. This is stylized 1000 on my personal P code. I'm going to go to use prompt so that everything's the same, but I'm going to be changing the aspect ratio. You can write out the different ratios one at a time, or you can write a permutation, something like this. Curly bracket and then different ratios separated by commas. So something like 3:1, 1:2, 16:9, something like that, right? You'll hit enter, and what that's going to do is generate those three ratios all at once. This could eat up your fast hours, so use this wisely. We'll end up with some generations like these, and look how beautiful, look how gorgeous these are. Just stunning stuff. Let me show you some collages. So this is all maximalism style, but this is under my personal style code with S100, stylized 100. And this does not include Unsplash in the prompt. I think all of these are gorgeous. Same idea here, but the stylize is up to 1000, so the influence of my personal style is exaggerated. And look how gorgeous these are, like, this is so much fun. I can't get enough of it. Here's stylized 100 with Unsplash included in the prompt. Any reference you use is going to change your generations a lot. I'm still a pretty big fan of these though. And here's Unsplash with stylized 1000, again an increased influence of my personal style. I know there's a lot to try. Please don't feel overwhelmed. Just enjoy it for what it is. This technology can be a lot of fun. And I will say that I think your personal style code can work really well with a cosplay prompt. Here's our character Anna cosplaying as the Witcher with my style code, which means the style of the images are going to remain very, very consistent. And here's one more picture I wanted to show you because I liked it so much. Just try to remember that the stylized value determines the influence of your style. So --S1000 will be the most you. I have another bonus tip for you here. You can use the weird parameter in your prompt to get some crazy looking generations. You might have to sort through some ugly pictures, but you could really find a unique foundation for one of your photo shoots. You're going to add --W in your prompt and then a value between 0 and 3000. I don't recommend anything too high, maybe somewhere around 100 will do just fine. Take a look at these. Here's a candid photo of a woman, minimalist style. I used Chaos 3, a low character weight, stylized 150, and weird 140. And like this one's kind of weird, it's not very good. This one's not the best, but that's beautiful, and I like this look too. I tried candid photo of a woman, celestial style with weird 100, and I think those images are so strikingly beautiful. But the one I wanted to show you for sure was this. Celtic war style, weird 100, and look at those results, look how stunning those are. I went on to try these in some different aspect ratios and I'm getting results like these. Put it all together and you can get a Photoshoot collage that looks something like this. Pretty awesome, right? All thanks to the weird parameter. Don't forget about that one. The sixth photo shoot that I want you to try is sort of similar to the previous tip, but this time we are going to let Midjourney choose the style code for us. We can do that by writing a simple prompt and then putting --sref random at the end. sref is style reference and random will choose a random number that is associated with a randomly generated style. This one is a lot of fun. Let me show you how it works. We're going to make sure our character is selected as a character reference, and then all you need to do is write something really simple, like a portrait of a woman. I suggest making it an aspect ratio of 1:1 for now, but I guess you don't really have to. You should lower the character weight to 0, you should add a little bit of chaos, and then you should add the --sref parameter. You're going to leave a space and then include the word random. That's sref random, but we're not done. I think you should also use the repeat parameter. Type --repeat at the end of your prompt and then add a relatively small value, maybe something like 5 would work just fine. This is going to run that prompt 5 straight times. You could go all the way up to 40, but I think that's a little too much. I'll hit enter and Midjourney is going to select 5 different random styles for us. We're doing this just so that we can find a style that we like for our photo shoot. Photoshoot. Trust me, there's no rhyme or reason to anything that we're about to see. And here are the 5 that were generated. We'll start down here with a pretty clean look. I like the white background. And then we have maybe sort of a pencil sketch up here, an old school painting look up here, and then we have 2 sort of interesting styles. I'm not sure what I would call those. Now, if you weren't happy with any of these 5, you could run that repeat 5 again. Why don't we do that? Maybe we can get something a little better than this. Make sure you have sref random in your prompt, and then at the end type repeat 5, -- repeat 5. This is going to burn through your fast hours quickly, so try not to be too picky. Oh, but we already have some really cool looking images here. I like this one a lot, as well as these. Well then, ooh, these are quite realistic. I like that look, and I like this a lot as well. You know what, let's go with this ultra realistic look, and we'll try the colorful one after. So, what I want you to do here is go next to your prompt and click Use. This is when we're gonna change the aspect ratio and we're gonna add a bunch of different ones. Again, you can go one at a time, or you could write a permutation. A curly bracket to open, a bunch of different ratios separated by commas, closed with a curly bracket. All right, these are very elegant, very beautiful, very stunning. What do you think? Isn't that awesome? But there's one more trick that you can do. I want you to run the prompt again with different aspect ratios, but there's another parameter that you can add. --SW, style weight. The default value is 100, but we can bump this style weight all the way up to 1000. And what that's going to do is it's going to take whatever style Midjourney is going for, and it's going to amplify it. It's not going to be drastically different from what you see here, but it will be different, and that's something that you might like. And let's see if we can notice a difference. I'd say already these are a little more abstract. A bit of a different vibe for sure, and we're gonna have to blur some of that out. Midjourney version 6.1 can get a little not safe for workplace, so just be careful when you're creating photo shoots. Let me show you another example of what the style weight parameter can do. Here's this style code with our character Anna, and that's at a style weight of 100, the default. I think these look great, but when we bump up the style weight value, it turns into these. Now, I don't know which one you like more. Maybe you'd want to try a style weight somewhere in the middle, like 500. It would be completely up to you. But just remember that style weight can affect the look of a style reference code. And because I don't want to leave you hanging, let's try this colorful style. So we'll click on Use, and then we will change the aspect ratio. I'm going to run permutations. I'll do the same thing again, but I'm going to increase the style weight, and then I'll create some collages for you to compare. What do you think? I'd say 100 is a little more rough around the edges. The colors are a little more splotched together. And then with 1000, you're getting some very strong and sharp colors. Small differences, but differences nonetheless. There you have it. There was 6 workflows to create the illusion of a photo shoot inside of Midjourney. If you learned something new, would you mind hitting the like button on the video so that we could share it with more people? And if you're interested in a workflow to create your own custom font, you can check out this video right here. I hope you're doing well, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.